Water actually moving dumpsters, something we saw a little bit earlier today.
Yeah, that cancellation of the schools, I'm not surprised just from the mess that we are dealing with out here, Frank. And I wanted to show you and be like, there is so much debris out here. Look at this tire I just pulled up. I realized it was a horrible decision because there's about 3 cockroaches and I think 2 scorpions I just saw squirming inside there. So I'm grossed out and you should be too. And this is why we tell you guys to stay out of this water. And if you look, that's all Crystal River is right now, is basically just water. All of that debris, all of, it's mixed with storm sewage, mixed with storm water, that surge we've been talking about. We had to move back, I would say maybe 5 blocks from US 19. That's where we started off our morning, and then we were even further away from where we've been. When it comes to downtown, we're blocks away from that now. That's US 19, and that's how far up that the water has come. If you guys take a look at that there, we had been talking for so long about the west side of 19. The west side of 19 to be evacuated because of that storm surge there. And it's just so unfortunate to see how much water we are dealing with here in Crystal River because of how far back now that water is here on the east side of US 19. I think the sheriff's deputies are actually going to move back even more now. They started when we've been talking to you guys for just the past, 40 minutes now. We've seen you a couple of times. They started up there and they just keep on moving back, and now they've closed this road behind us up there. I can't see that, but Sheriff's Office just sent out a release saying that US 19, pretty much all the corridors going into US 19 into Crystal River had been closed down because of all of this extra water we've been telling you guys about. And it's not over yet. The sheriff is really nervous about that high tide set for 4:30 today. So he is asking anybody that is watching right now who lives in this community, you guys are locals, you guys know how it goes. You know this water comes up, it will eventually recede, but he's asking for you to just stay where you're at, stay put, stay on higher grounds, stay inland, stay at your hotel. He'll give you the all clear and tell you to come out here. Don't come out here now. We're seeing a lot more cars on the road trying to come and take a look at the action, see what's going on, but you guys are being stopped. You're not getting far. You're getting stopped. You can take a few pictures, but they're asking you not to do that because this is just a mess. Again, the debris that I mentioned to you guys, like I'm done. I'm not touching any more debris. I learned my lesson. I hope I had to learn that lesson for you guys so you guys know not to go in this water anywhere throughout the entire Bay Area. Nobody should be going in to these floodwaters right now. It's just gross and it's dangerous, Frank and Caitlin.
You're seeing the debris move behind you too. That tire, we've watched the one that's in the water. You've got one stationary behind you that you said was filled with cockroaches and other lovely things, but you've got the other tire behind you that's been circling around. That water really moving things pretty quickly.
You see that, right? Like that is how fast that current is going right now. Like when we were on 19, they said, be careful guys. And I said, we have a few hours, right? And they're like, no, you probably have about a half an hour to an hour. We were there maybe 20 minutes, so we were kicked out. That's just how fast that this current and this storm surge is moving. And like you said, you saw tires. I saw I think a lid to a garbage can so far, lots of beer bottles, just lots of trash around here that just shows you that's glass we're talking about. You don't want to be in this stuff at all.
No, you don't. Jen Titus, you are brave, my friend, but we do not need you to be that kind of brave, okay? Reports of cockroaches and scorpions inside the tire. We will take you at your word. Meantime, we want to turn to Malik Rankin. She's live for us along Hillsborough Avenue this morning. Malik, what's the situation there?
I mean, there's some flooding here, and we're pretty far inland. We're in the town and country area. This is Hillsborough Avenue. This intersection right here is Sheldon Road. Now, this is one of a handful of places that we've received recent reports from the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office that's experiencing flooding. Along with this area, Memorial Highway and Dana Shores, Sheldon and Hillsborough, that's what you're looking at here now. Causeway and 47th, 50th and Madison, as well as Highway 41. So we do have sheriff's deputies posted here trying to get people not to do exactly what you're seeing here, drive through this flooded lane. And if we can even show you guys the parking lot across the street here, this is entirely flooded. The majority of this flooded as well. We can see some cars trying to take some detours through there on the higher areas of that. But, this is what happens with the rain that we're seeing through here and why the recommendation for those low-lying areas to evacuate when needed, because this is what happens to the roads here. you know, we've been reporting to you live in downtown Tampa, off of Bayshore, areas that butt right up against the water. This isn't that, but we're still seeing flooding concerns here just because of the amount of rain that we've gotten in this area. Now, Hillsborough County Sheriff's Offices, we've just been talking to a deputy as we pulled up here to find a safe place to park ourselves and get ourselves here for this live shot. You know, they're making it very clear that they don't want people to be driving through this because it creates a safety issue for them, a response concern for those officers, and we're hearing the exact same thing from the city of Tampa when we were there earlier this morning. They're wanting you to wait until officials give you the all clear for when it's safe to travel on these roads. You know, we even saw when we were out on Bayshore Boulevard, cars that tested their luck. Those drivers went into the waters and are paying the price for it because a lot of those cars stalled out because the waters are just too deep. And you know, when you're driving into flood waters of any level, you don't always have the best indication of just how deep those waters are. Even sometimes if you can see the lines beneath it, that doesn't mean your car is going to be able to make it through that area safely. So that's why for areas like this, you'll see some of those Hillsborough County Sheriff's deputies here trying to push people away from these floodwaters. But here we go again. You know, we see these cars continually driving through it to test their luck. And as we're receiving updates from our county officials, city officials throughout Hillsborough County, you know, they're still asking you, even though it seems like it's nice out here, to wait things out a little bit longer because there is going to be a consistent concern for storm surge throughout the next couple of hours here today. These flood waters as well, as we could be getting some more rain throughout this area. So for everyone that's coming through here, we're out here so that you can be cozy, warm in your air conditioning at home, not worried about having to test your luck. So for you guys in the studio here, we'll be keeping an eye out on some of the flooding concerns here in Hillsborough and heading out to some of the other locations that the sheriff's office is asking people to please steer clear of those areas now.
Air conditioning provided the fact they have power. Thank you so much for that.
Absolutely. That's an important question right now.
That's
for so many
right.
people.
All right, you got me.